We are approaching North Monomoy Island. The intertidal and saltmarsh habitat here is perfect for spawning horseshoe crabs while providing staging and foraging areas for migrating birds. Let's take a closer look and find out why salt marshes are one of the most productive and biodiverse ecosystems on our planet. The salt marsh. From a distance, it can appear as a lonely, muddy, and silt-filled world. But tiny creatures like crabs, killifishes, grass shrimp, and other juvenile fish find the marshes a perfect home for protection and as a source of food. This diverse community makes for a tasty smorgasbord, attracting numerous resident and migratory bird species throughout the year. The marshes are made up of swirling grasses and colorful shrublands, interconnected to networks of flowing creeks, ponds, and ocean habitat. They are an incredibly productive ecosystem with high intrinsic value to wildlife on Monomoy. The refuge protects 4 distinct salt marshes, one on each of the 3 offshore islands and another on Morris Island. The salt marshes surrounding Hospital Pond and Powder Hole on South Monomoy Island are home to tiny fiddler crabs, willets, egrets, American black ducks, and others. Colorful and charismatic American oyster catchers make their home in the marshes of Monomoy Island. Terns plunge dive in the marshes, carrying small fish to their hungry offspring. The saltmarsh sparrow, a rapidly declining species, also claims this territory as its home, and the refuge supports among the highest abundance of breeding pairs in the state. Hungry wading birds forage around and amongst the roosting areas for shorebirds. Salt marshes are also the coastal nursery habitat of the ancient mariner, the horseshoe crab. The expansive salt marsh on North Monomoy Island supports nesting habitat for upwards of 200 pairs of wading birds, including black-crowned night heron, snowy egret, great egret, and the occasional glossy ibis, as well as great black-backed and herring gulls. Because North Monomoy Island's protected salt marsh provides ideal nesting habitat and steady food resources, it is one of the few sites on Cape Cod where these species routinely breed. The refuge salt marshes are a delicate and important environment. Human disturbance, even by refuge staff, is kept to a minimum, although staff periodically perform avian surveys and record salt marsh surface elevation tables, or sets, to determine the rate of marsh accretion or subsidence over time. Sets provide important information to determine whether the marshes are accreting at a rate allowing them to keep up with the rising sea levels brought on by climate change. Salt marshes are among nature's most productive habitats, and monomoys in particular benefit from not having been human-altered in the past. Globally threatened by climate change, agriculture, pollution, and development, salt marshes continue to serve human population centers as a buffer from storms and sea level rise. Salt marshes. From a distance, they might appear as a lonely, muddy, and silt-filled world. But the reality is, they are among the most biologically productive ecosystems on our planet.